Okay, hello everybody. Hello, cup of tea. Everybody get settled. Get settled. We're on a new. It's a new day. It's a new day. Calling. Yesterday is past. I think that's Cat Stevens. At least I hope it is. I've lost hearing in this ear. This is just bad news. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We're in Studio One, which is Lewis Schaffer's kitchen. Thank you for coming in here. I know it looks a mess. It is a bit of a mess. I did a bit of tidying, but it's still a mess. There's no door to the kitchen. I took the door down. I like having open. This wall here, probably can't see it. Can't see it. Anyway, it connects to the living room, which is Studio B. Yes and yes. Thank you. Hi ho, Kermit. Good to see you. Alan Williams is here. Andrew Rubin is here. Gnome Hunter is here. Joodles is here. MC Scott is here. We've got, maybe today's going to be a quiet day. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to worry about it. Of course, I'm going to worry about it. I shouldn't worry about it. Why should I worry about it? What's the big deal? I should not worry about it. But I am worried. I am worried about it. I shouldn't be worried. We've basically had the same number of people every single show, between 30 and 42, maybe sometimes higher, sometimes lower. I mean, we had to figure out how to do this thing. Do you know how to do it? I don't know how to do it. I'm figuring it out how how to do it. How to do it. I like this. I like this camera. I think I look better in this than I do in the other room. Maybe not this. Maybe this is a better way. I'm drinking a cup of tea, which I never do late at night. It's not that late. It's only 10:30, but it does feel late at night. Hooray to Lewis to the rescue. Hiya all, says I'm. I don't know, to the rescue. What can I do about it? What can I do about today's thing? Darklins is here. She says evening all. Good to see you. Greetings, Leanne. Oh, beautiful Leanne is here. Beautiful Leanne. It's a nice cup of tea. It's a nice cup of tea. I felt I needed it because I'm always tired. I'm always tired at the beginning show or this show or the middle show. Um, I'm maybe not tired completely. I've gone out today. I have not done my full embodiment of steps. Do you guys do steps? Is it necessary to do steps? I'm doing it because I'm trying to lose weight. And if I don't eat anything for the rest of the night, tomorrow morning I will wake up and I will be a bit thinner. I'll be a bit thinner. Actually, I can measure myself right now. Right now, because what I do is I take off 100 grams for every hour that I'm awake. Sorry, I take off 100 grams for every hour that I have to go before I measure myself the next day. So if I have 12 hours between the time I weigh myself tonight and tomorrow at 12, let's say measure myself right after the show at 12, I would take off 12 1.2 kilos. I'm not explaining it properly, but I think you understand. So I could tell, like if I weigh myself tonight and I'm at 80 kilograms, that means tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 77.8. If tonight I go to sleep, I'm at 78 kilograms. I will wake up tomorrow, taking off 12. I will be at. Do you care about this? I don't. Probably you don't care about it because I'm not explaining it. I'm not explaining it properly. But um, that is the big news. The earlier show, I thought I really enjoyed. I mean, I don't know whether you guys enjoyed having Tony here. He's not famous, but he represents an England to me, and I like England, and this is the kind of English person that I like. When I first came to this country, I didn't like any English people. And now that's the kind that I like. I don't like posh people, and I don't like people who like relish in being poor. Sorry, maybe some of you relish being poor. I don't I don't like people who relish in being born rich. But I like somebody like him. He's in the middle and he's working, he's doing his stuff, and he's got a good sense of humor. Tony was funny, says Vatnai, and interesting, yes. Very funny and very interesting. He was a brilliant best guest ever, yes, says Andrew Rubin. I think he was. The evening show was brilliant. Tony was a great guy, despite all of his allegiances, which he didn't carry with him as strongly as a lot of people do. Okay? He didn't do that. But that was true. I'm going to make a copy of this. Tony was funny. Yeah, so it was, like everybody, I'll send him this and I'll say, this is what you said about Tony. You didn't hate him like you possibly can hate. You could have hated Chinese Elvis. I mean, it's a concern to me because these are my friends. I like Chinese Elvis too. I really like Chinese Elvis, but he could be a real wanker. And I'm saying this publicly. Maybe I shouldn't say it publicly, but he can be a proper wanker. And if you get on his bad side, he just like comes after you. And then maybe later he was not going to say he's sorry, but he might forget about it. Yeah, Maltese Phil, good on you. I had a couple of whiskeys as I was at a leaving do, full of food and whiskey. Sorry, Lewis. Sorry if I fall asleep. Says Leanne. Yeah. We need to cut back. That's the problem. I mean, even if you're at a leaving do, you might have less. I mean, I did have 3 PIMs when I went to the GB News thing. Somebody called me up and invited me. I didn't get an invitation from them, but I didn't think anything of it. But they probably didn't want to see me. At least he's not a green nut job. We can work with him. Yeah, I think he sees that there's a problem with labor, that they're lying scoundrels. We can all be wankers. Yes, we can. We can all, but we have to Leanne says this, we have to really focus on what we're eating. So, I mean, I woke up this morning 76.7 kilograms. Now, you probably think, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. How tall are you? It probably doesn't mean anything. But for me, it's pretty much the lowest I've been since I've started to lose weight in 2017. It's the lowest I've been. And this is 8 years. So it's really good. Thank you, Leanne. And it feels good. I don't know whether I look as good as I could look. But I think I look all right. Maybe I don't look all right. But thank you, Leanne. That's amazing. Janet is here. She waves hello. But why am I losing weight? Not just because of Claire, but it is a big Claire. It's Claire. I'm losing weight because of Claire. Because I see how thin she is. And some people don't like it. They like a big fat girl or a big fat guy. I want to be a skinny guy. My entire life I grew up, my family was fat. My father was like fat. He was American fat. Couldn't wipe his own bottom. He's dead now, so I can talk about him. Thank you, says Leanne. Of course I look good. I think you look great, says Vatnai. This is really nice of you to say, Leanne and Vatnai. The point is, my father was fat, and then he died a horrible death. A horrible death. He didn't die as young as I thought he was going to die. He only died at 71 years old. He wasn't a drinker. And he smoked for a short period of time. Those are the 3 things that can kill you. Drinking, smoking, and food. Bad food can kill you. And part of bad food is toxic seed oils. And I don't want to die that way. I want to be healthy. I want the young girls who are on this stream. Let's talk to the young girls, to Janet and Leanne. I want them to find me attractive. Joodles, I want you to find me attractive. That's what I'm looking forward to. Being found attractive. I mean, it's very looking good, says Janet. This is very important. It's very important to men, and it's very important to women. And one of the main considerations is, I think, well, it's not being rail thin like Claire, but it is being thin. I think it's being thin. Can you hear me? I've got the microphone over here. Maybe it's a bit out of it. Is fatism a thing? Yes, it is. Where they're going, look, I'm fat and I'm healthy. I'm fat and I'm healthy. And then they die. Andrew Rubin. Yes, it's very, very bad. And MC Scott agrees with this. Word, Lewis, on all counts. So, yeah, I mean, you could sit there and you can say, you know what? You could say, I rather die happy. But I was not happy. I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. We're always talking about the exact same thing. I don't even know why you're here listening to this, because we're always talking about the exact same thing. But what is the exact same thing? The exact same thing is something that's so important to us. We got 24 people watching right now. Everybody go over and press the thumbs up or the subscribe thing. But fatism is a thing. Okay? I'm sorry, it is a thing. And I've been watching a lot of videos about this, about like the fat acceptance movement and that thing. Oh my God, I screwed today, as I've done it all tonight. I've not been bad this week, to be fair, though. Yeah, you gotta be good every single day. And so what happened to me is, because I weigh myself every day, Steve is here. Where is Steve? Where is Steve? I don't see where Steve is. Oh, Steve McCuff. Okay, good evening, Steve. Fellow nutters. Yeah, well, I'm a nutter. I would say that I am a nutter. If you really knew what I was thinking, you would go, something not quite right with that guy. Something not quite right. But what I am saying is, what was I saying? I was saying is that I weigh myself every single day. Every single day. I woke up this morning and I weighed myself. Weighed myself last night. I weighed myself 3 or 4 times in the night just to see the number going down. Okay, let's change the subject and talk about Central Park. 900 and I don't know how many acres is it. It's brilliant. Central Park is one of the most amazing inventions in the entire world. There was no park like Central Park before they built Central Park. It's impossible to be good every day. Okay, what's gone on with this thing? This screen has gone black. Every day, I always end up letting myself down, usually with pizza, Darklins. Yes. My friend Russ told me a way of dealing with the pizza. Maybe you remember when I said this. You got to imagine you're eating the pizza. And imagine what it's like to go buy the pizza and have the pizza right in front of you, the smell of the pizza. You haven't bought a pizza, but you're imagining it. And then you put it in your mouth, and then you chew it. And you taste it, and you taste the pizza. You think, oh my God, this tastes so good. And you eat the entire fake pizza. And then you feel happy, because after you eat a slice of pizza, if you do not have a second slice of pizza, you feel horrible. Do you not? Answer that question, Darklins. Don't you feel bad if you don't have a second slice of pizza? Doesn't your stomach growl and say, I want another piece of pizza? It does. Central Park is bigger than Monaco. Yeah, it's a big park, and they've really kept it nicely. Do you weigh yourself before and after a poo? At times I do. Now, let's just say a lot of times, because I don't poo as often as I used to poo, Maltese Phil. So if I don't poo, and let's say I haven't pooed in a day, I take off 100 grams. So instead of being 76.7, I'll be 76.6. This is what I do. I'm obsessed with food. This is Lewis Schaffer's Fat Channel. It's Lewis Schaffer's Fat Channel. We're talking about this. It's not that interesting. Lewis, I think you might, Noam says, I think you might have a bit of an unhealthy obsession with this stuff. I think I do. I really have an obsession. I want to be thin, and I want you to be thin. I want to be able to walk around and be thin and beautiful. You know, the melted cheese, the salami, the mushrooms. This is what Vatanai says. The extra olive oil to soak into the crust. Yeah, pizza's amazing. You don't even need extra olive oil, because the cheese has the animal fat in it. So you don't need that. You don't need that. Here's the thing. The Louvre got robbed, but you need a shop manager to buy butter. What does that mean? Who are you talking to about that? Let me get back on track, because I've already 843 acres. I didn't know that. Why is it important to you? Let me get back on track. MC Scott says it's possible to go too far down The measurement hole. Yes, you could be too thin, but I don't think I'm too thin. I think my BMI is about 24 or something. So it's like at the high end of the normal range. It's not like even in the thin range. Um, I weigh myself every day. How often do you weigh yourself, Maltese Phil? Maybe you don't need to because you live in a hot, warm climate down there. Not personally. Okay. I've been there, and to realize that it's shocking. What, Central Park is shocking? It is shocking. It's amazing. All the different bridges that they've got, the woods and the glades and the fields, and then the valleys and the rivers, little rivers running through it. I don't think I could wait 20 minutes to cook a pizza that doesn't exist. Yes, Steve, Mr. Cuff. Yeah, but let's say you're going out to buy it. Let's say you're going across the park. You say, I'll just go into Voodoo Ray's. And it's a mistake. That's a mistake. Here's the thing. The Louvre, okay, I read that before. I didn't understand it, so I can't go back to it. Maybe it could be explained. Noam says, I think you might have a bit of unhealthy obsession with this stuff. I do. I'm obsessed with eating. I'm obsessed with being thin. My father was so fat he couldn't wipe his own bottom. And that's why I'm obsessed for you. I'm just saying how happy you will be. You will be so happy to be thin. Yeah, blame Phil. Phil Joodles. Phil had stupidly mentioned the thing. Why did he mention it? Why did he mention it? I don't know why he mentioned it. I'm having a hard time reading the screen. I made the screen really bright, and now it's not that bright. Definitely, I think I've ever had only one piece of pizza. I always finish that you don't think you've never had one. I always finish the whole thing. Yes. Yeah, okay, well there you go. Hold on, my battery is running low. Hold on. Maybe it's on screensaver. That's why it's doing this. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. There you go. Let's see, is that gonna work? Let's see, maybe it'll brighten up. Yeah, it's brightening up right now. There you go, you can't see this. But no one ever has just one piece of pizza. Yes, Blackadder. Me too. Lovely place. Never realized it was that big. It's pretty big. It goes from 60th Street to 110th Street. Maybe it's 59th Street to 110th Street. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like the 1950s song, says Alan Williams, I woke in the morning and I weighed myself. I don't know that song, but that's what I do. When I wake up, I weigh myself. And if I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I adjust it for 12. And if I wake up at 12, I take off 100 grams for the poo. Yeah, that's important. What do you guys do? Do you weigh yourself? You should weigh yourself every day. I understand that, Lewis. Noam says, but you're already in your peak form, and all of us are working towards it. Your work is doing good, but no need to stress over it so much. There is a need. There is a need, because if I don't stress over it, it's so easy for life to get out of hand. It's like my life now. I need to stress over it. I need to actually, there's so much I need to do. Forget about the food. I need to go and get some work. Like Tony said, I need to go and get some stand-up comedy gigs. I need to maybe get some whatchamacallit gigs, some acting gigs. I need to do all the different things. You can't say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You got to do it today, and you've got to do it scared. I had a beautiful horse and cart ride around Central Park. Of course you did, Leanne, because you're a classy girl. How much did that cost? Probably a fortune. Yeah, you waited 5 minutes for this slice. Discount. Yeah, well, 5 minutes is 1/20th of which is 5%. How many? No, it's not 5. It's 1/20th. I don't know what it is. So you could discount something from that. You could discount something from that. I met Monaco, laugh out loud. That's what Noam Hunt said, to be phrased. Maybe I phrase it wrong. Maybe being on the hill where the royal palace sits and thought this place is big. To think that just a park is even bigger. I don't think you thought that Monaco was big. Monaco is tiny, and a lot of the places on the edges, it looks like Monaco, but it's not Monaco. I don't think it's like Monaco adjacent. Never visited Central Park. Maybe one day you should. Yeah, it's one of those places you don't need to. You don't need to, but it's nice. It's nice. A lot of the places you visit, you just want to visit just to tell people you were there. Oh, you've been to Central Park? I've been to Central Park. But you know, it doesn't help you. I used to go all around the world thinking the girls would like me, but they didn't like me because I went all around the world. They liked me because I'm thin and beautiful. Raise your hand if you agree with that, Darklings. Of course it's true. Leanne, missed the elevator music. Across 110th Street, pimp's trying to catch a woman that's weak. Across 110th Street, pushers won't let the junkie go free. Across 110th Street, woman trying to catch a trick on the street. Right now, I think 110th Street could be places of inherent value. That's what Kermit says. That song. What song is that? Can you tell us what that is? So I do not have to look for it. It's one of those things. It's one of those things, to move to and to see. The thing about travel is if your home country is stable, travel is great. If your home country has been England, it's always been England, then it's great. But if it's not, if it's falling apart as we speak, pizza is not the same anywhere else in the world. New York, New York, I hate it. Here, it's disgusting in comparison. Well, you know what? There's truth to that, but this place, Voodoo Ray's, the pizza is very similar. It's very similar to New York pizza, except the price. It's £5.40. What is five? I'm going to check this out. What is £5.40 in dollars? Let's go check this out. I'm going to Google here. What is £5.40? Hold on a second. In USA dollars today. Okay, we'll find out what it is. $7.19. $7.19 for a piece of pizza. That's like shocking. Andrew Rubin. Yeah, could we spend a moment in tonight's show and discuss what exactly Andrew did that was that wrong? He had sex with a 17-year-old who was being paid thousands of pounds to do it. Okay? Thousands of pounds to do it. So I don't think Prince Andrew is that bad a man. I think he's an idiot. Like as in dumb, maybe. As in dumb. He's not loved. His mother's dead. That's like really shit. 110th Street. Yeah, I think the park used to end at 100th Street, and then they added the 10 extra blocks. Each block is about 200 feet. Bobby Womack. Okay, we're finding out who that is. But that little bit was added onto it. I think it was added onto because it was quite hilly and mountainous, and they figured we might as well add it on. There's an actual. I just saw in a TikTok video that there's kind of like an outcrop where a road used to go through it, and that was the only way to go up north, into the Bronx and Westchester, through that way. I joined late, Mr. McCuff. I'm not sure you've mentioned the feck up in Caerphilly. Well, what do you say happened? The Labor Reform didn't win. And Tony told me, he doesn't think, well, maybe I shouldn't say what Tony said, but someone told me that what's his name? Nigel Farage is not going to be the leader of the party because he is what was the word that he used? I don't want to use the word, but he basically doesn't like to lead. He likes to get elected. He's in opposition. He's oppositional. It's sort of similar to me. I'm an oppositional. Pizza is just bread with good stuff on it. I don't get the fuss, really. You're totally right. But not just is it bread, it's sourdough bread. And that makes it the best, right? Sourdough bread. Sorry for burping. Sourdough bread. And the stuff is good stuff. It's tomato sauce and it's cheese and pepperoni, whatever pepperoni is. I think they found that the pepperoni was an American invention. That they didn't have pepperoni cheese in Italy, where pizza supposedly came from. Okay, so that's what I say to you, Alan. I said, I'm going to try to read everybody's name first. Oh my God, I'm a bit behind, but I'm going to catch up really fast. Really fast. I'm going to go £4. No, it was $7. $7. That's how much a slice of pizza is. Pizza used to be a dollar in America, and now you're charging $7 here. Come on, let's get real here. It's too expensive, Janet, pizza. And I think it's too expensive. It was poor man's food. It was like Italianish poor man's food. MC Cuff says, here we go again. She was groomed, trafficked. What does that mean, groomed? They called her up and they say, hey, do you want to have sex with a prince? $15,000. Okay, is that grooming? That she was trafficked. Here's your flight. Here's your ticket to fly to England. Is that what it means? I don't think she had a choice. Strange how she died suddenly. That's something else. That is something else, why she died. But that's not good enough. No, Steve. No, you don't win me over. Who else can make a case of what he did that was really wrong? Everybody grooms. I'm grooming you by telling you how beautiful you are. And maybe you'll throw me a bone at some point. Or maybe my bone will be thrown to you. Andrew lied, Lewis. He lied. He told Epstein, we're in this together, after claiming he was no longer consorting with him. He made stuff up in a national TV interview and made a mockery of the royals. He's a royal. He's allowed to make a mockery. What about the king? He's meeting with the Catholics and the Protestants and the Jews. He's making a mockery of his job, which is to protect the British people and their faith. Okay. My son, the producer, is in the other room. So, what did he do? He lied. Big deal. What did he really do? You got to tell me he did something that makes him unfit to be a royal. Unfit to be a royal. He's not arrogant. That would make him unfit to be a royal. Where he thinks that that the local people need to be treated with respect. That would make him unfit to be a royal. Can you see the joke that I'm getting at here? Let's write that joke. It could be a very funny joke. I don't know what Prince Andrew did. Farage is French, says the Saxon. Welcome back. Well, he's got a French name. Everybody, Tony Goujon has a French name. Half the people have French names in this country. They let the French people in, and the next thing you know, people weren't speaking English or whatever the local language was, British. Kerry Mack is here. Welcome back, Kerry Macca. She is here. That's so good, Kerry Macca. Thank you very much. Hello, hi everybody, she says, and hi to me. That's what I like to hear. Hi to everyone. Hi to me. Okay. I'm losing my thing here. Let's see. People in high places, this is according to Gnome Hunter, people in high places is why she died, certainly. But I don't know how many times we will have to tell him about it. Tell Andrew about it? Anyway, according to the Saxon, pizza was created by Italian peasant immigrants to the U.S. And what does N mean? Northern United States? Yeah, probably, yeah. And then after World War I, or maybe World War II, it became incredibly popular. You know. There we go. Prince Andrew put me off of pizza altogether, says Alan Williams. Yeah. I mean, he just tried. He's a royal. What do you expect from a royal? You know, we don't expect what Prince Charles is doing. He's not acting all royally. He's selling the country out. They did not let the French in, F's sake. Have you opened a book before? Who are you talking to? They did not let the French in. Did I say that? I don't think I said that. I said they let the French in. The French came in, they invaded the country, and next thing you know, people weren't speaking British in their own country. When they went to court, they had to speak French. That's not right, and that's going to happen. That's happening now, Lewis. We know you think Andrew did nothing wrong, Judel says. Many of us here vehemently disagree with you, and Andrew makes some of us furious. This is the fourth stream in a row you've brought him up. Why? Because no one has told me enough to satisfy me what he's done that is so wrong. The French sneaked in. They are sneaky. I don't think they sneaked in. They invaded the country in the Battle of Hastings, or whatever the place is called, the battle. They didn't sneak in. Prince Andrew is a proper rat, sleazy man, says Kerry Macca. I'll say no more. I find it hard to believe that Virginia is telling lies about him and the others. What did she say? She said I had sex with him 3 times, and I had sex with him and 8 other girls, or something. What else did she say? She had group sex with him. Who has not had group sex here with 8 beautiful girls? Which of you? Answer the question right now. So tell me what he did wrong. A royal is supposed to govern by serving. No, they're the royal whether they do anything or not. They don't. There's no code for the royal. They're born a royal. Your system. You should just live with your system. Kerry Mack, a royal. Anyway, and before you say nobody answered me when I asked, Jules, we did. I even screamed at you last night. What did you say? It did not go in, Judels. What went in that he did that was that wrong? Come on. Besides having group sex, besides letting his friend buy him a hooker. I'm sorry. You know, we either respect prostitution or we don't. Letting someone in is different than an invasion. And that's not what happened. Despite the war, it was legal secession law and therefore can't be questioned. Oh, okay. You're saying because there's a new king that he has got a right to decide who owns all that stuff. Yeah, which is maybe that's even worse than the fact that you have a royal family and your royal family was taken over by some Norman guy because supposedly he was originally belonged there, right? That's what you're saying, isn't that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. Okay. I don't like Prince Andrew, but I don't know what he did wrong. Norman's not French, Lewis. They're different people. You know what? They were a different people, but they were living there for so long that they became French. But they came from a different place. And the Normans who were living in England fought him and tried to beat him, but didn't win. We need to fight and be prepared. The French were beaten back by the women in Fishguard, Pembrokeshire. Don't mess with a Welsh woman. Yeah. And then the French, the Normans, they built all those castles. I'm being yelled at. Maybe I'm not 100%, but you know what it is. You know exactly what it is. Mr. Windsor is a bloody liability. Maybe he is. But why should you be upset? Because he's a liability to Prince Charles, or King Charles, whatever you call him. We are calling sheep Welsh women now. I don't know what that means, but I'm not going to go along with it. Look, if he did nothing wrong, why did he lie? Because it's embarrassing. If you ask me, Lewis, what was I doing the other day? I'm going to lie. I'm going to tell you I'm not doing anything. Because there's lots of embarrassing things that we all do. And he's very proudful because his mother didn't love him as much. I mean, I know she loved him more than Charles, but the Queen was not a perfect mother. I mean, you have to admit that. Look, if he didn't, all right, so he did lie. Kermit. I mean, is that a right answer to you? Just because he's born royal doesn't give him the right to do what he's accused of. Is it wrong for him to go to a prostitute? No, I don't think it is. Just because he's born, right, Kerry Mack. I'm answering to Kerry Macca. What did he do? She was not a hooker. She was paid £15,000 to go have sex with. Maybe she wasn't. Either way, if she wasn't a hooker, well, what was she? If she wasn't that, she took the money. She was paid money to go have sex with Andrew, wasn't she not? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like Tony said, this is what Kermit says. Like Tony said before, he should have just put his hands up and said, yeah, I did that. But she was legal. Yes, I don't think he said it exactly that way. But yes, that's what he said. Yeah. No, she was a pretty girl. She wasn't the prettiest girl, but she was a pretty girl. She came from Florida. She looked all clean and nice. I've done stuff like that. I've been a bad boy. We've all been bad boys. The first time I've made it to the Late Show. Pete's Transport, welcome back. Let's give Pete Transport a round of applause. A round of applause. Pete's Transport is here. How many people have been watching this stream? Can somebody put a number in the thing so I don't have to go off this list and so I don't fall behind? Who in our heart of hearts wouldn't rather have just pizza toppings without the dough? The fact is, you need the actual dough, the sourdough bread, because it's got sugar in it, a type of sugar, which is what carbs is sugar, to basically get you excited, to make you hungry, and to bring the cheese up. We all love the cheese. We love that stuff. Alan, I'm closer to agree with you, but I'm not. Anyway, Kerry Macca says that she wasn't a hooker. But what was she then? What was she then? She was a paid employee of Jeffrey Epstein. Paid employee. And he said to her, hey, you want money. If you want money from us, which we want to give you, you just go over there and you make them happy. And she goes, oh, it's a prince. That's great. I can tell all my friends I had sex with a prince. It happens with me too. All the women here. Look at all the women who are having sex with Lewis Schaffer, because they can say, I had sex with Lewis Schaffer. And all your friends are going to go, what do you mean? The guy's gay. Can't you tell that he's gay? Stop lying. That's what it would be. That's whatever. But she liked Prince Andrew. He was the best looking of the four of them. I mean, maybe the girl was pretty, but the brother, Edward, he's like painful looking. Anyway, the bastard was next in line for secession, and therefore he claimed what he was owed. He did bring over his Norman ways, but that is not akin to what is happening now. So they are French mostly. This is what Noman just said. Well, what do you guys think about that? You're saying that the Norman conquest wasn't a conquest at all. He was just accepting his rights. Do you guys believe that? Do you believe what Noman just says? I'm not sure about that. I'm not a historian. I'm just a guy who says shit without knowing what I'm saying. But yeah, maybe it's right. So what's going to happen? So when the Muslims come to this country, they're saying it's a caliphate. They're meant to have a caliphate here. Stop complaining. Is that the same thing? And if you were a royal, I'd tell you to sling your hook too. What does sling your hook mean, Kermit? Is that a phrase like have sex with lots of girls? You know, is that what you're saying? What does that mean, sling your hook? Sling your hook. 34, we got 34 people watching. And he's a war hero. Didn't we say that? Wait, I missed my thing. What does that mean, Kermit? Sling your hook. It might be embarrassing, but as an adult, it's easier to own it and face up to it. Whatever you've done, it makes it easier to sleep at night. It does. But also, if someone accuses you, like I had a thing with a girl, and it was embarrassing because she looked like a girl who would not have a thing with me, and I looked like a guy who would not have a thing with her, but she found me attractive for whatever reason, what am I supposed to say? Yeah, I was banging. No, you can't say that. You can't say that too. That's uncouth. Am I right? That's really uncouth. Also, why pay $12 million to the girl you never met? Exactly, to shut her up, and then she wouldn't shut up. That's why you pay her £12 million, Kerry Macca, to shut her up, like my mom explained afterwards. Okay, that's what MC Scott says. He is a war hero, John Miller says. I'll give you that. But come on, Lewis, don't stick up for the wee grubby nonce. Is he a nonce because he had sex with a 17-year-old? Does that make you a nonce? I would like someone to stick up for me, because a lot of people didn't stick up for me when I was going through my time, and I thought it was the end of the world. I thought it was the end of the world when somebody came and said, you did a bad thing. And I'm thinking, well, what did I do? She never even said what bad thing I did. What a bad thing I did. Because if she says a bad thing, I can say, no, I didn't do that. But if it's vague, and so what did he do wrong? He was set up by Jeffrey Epstein. That's how bad the guy is. Yes, he did it. He did it. I don't groom. Well, every guy grooms. You take a girl out, you buy her a drink, you're grooming. You're on your best behavior, you're grooming. You get a job. That's grooming. You go and clean the girl's garden or something. That's grooming. I don't like Charlie Boy. He's well dodgy, Pete Transfer says. I agree with you. He's worse than Andrew. At least Andrew, you got a feeling, at least standing up for England, or if he is. If he is. And Andrew Rubin agrees with you. He's like applauding. So there you go. If Andrew is so good, innocent, why did the late Queen pay hush money? It screams guilt. That is not proof of anything, because you just want to because he did a bad thing, which he had sex with a girl. He was lonely. He was lonely. It's like the Lewis Schaffer story. The Lewis Schaffer story. Now I'm different. If somebody says, you did this, I would go, yeah, I did that. F you. Because my career is over. I've got no future. And now his career is over. It was not illegal in the States. Yes, it wasn't done in the States. It was done in Britain. Okay? She was 17. Yes, it's not great to do, but I guarantee you that girl was quite I don't know. Why do I talk like this? I'm so unlikable. I don't care. I don't care if I'm unlikable. I'm telling you my opinion. You tell me your opinion. If Andrew is so good, right. That's what Dorkland says. If Andrew is so good, why did he? It screams guilt, but that doesn't mean it's guilty. There's lots of times you can look guilty, but you just want to keep it quiet. Why did Donald Trump pay that girl £130,000 or something? Because it's not, we live in a Christian world, Muslim world. You don't want to be caught doing that kind of thing. Forget the Muslim world. We live in a Christian world. You're supposed to be nice. You're not supposed to have sex with 17-year-olds. Am I right? Well, it was not illegal in the States. And yes, I'd pay $12 million for something I never had. Joe is making fun of me. Was it not illegal in the States? She did not have sex in the States. It was in England. And yes, I'd pay $12 million for something I never did. Seriously. Yes, because you're a girl, Joe, and you think, this is the difference between girls and guys. Girls are always worried. They think, I would never do that. I would never do that. But us guys, we're dogs. We're dogs. We are dogs. I'm a dog. I am a dog. I'm a dog. You come up to me, you say, well, you're really handsome. You're in, and then I'll regret it later. I'm sorry to the girls here. I'm sorry to you, Joanne, and to Kerry Mack, and to Judels, to all the beautiful women here, to Leanne. This is just the way I am. Somebody calls me up and they say, Lewis, come. I've broken up with my boyfriend or husband or something. Come and, throw me a bone. I go, okay, because you like me. That's what I'm saying. Pizza's not good, all that bread. No, it's very high in calorie and it makes you fat. I have one slice of pizza and I gain a kilo. A lot of it is water weight, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Prince Andrew, he's a bit of a scummy guy, but he didn't deserve this thing. He didn't deserve it. Hold on a second. Let's get back on track. I mean, really. Let's be honest. Can somebody tell me how many people are watching? They say it's 16, but there are a lot of caveats to that. And even then, I too think it should be at least 18. But we don't want this to be like Iran. Teenagers will be teenagers. Yeah. What are you saying? You're saying it's okay to be 18? What is 18? I think Saxon says it's the age of consent. It's the age of consent. And I mean, I don't know. I lost my train of thought here. He did a bad thing. He did a wrong thing. He wanted it kept secret. That doesn't mean he did anything else. Tell me what else he did. If he sells out his country, then that's treasonous or traitorous, whatever that is. And that's a real crime. Let's say he gave secrets to the Iranians or the Russians or the Chinese. That is a true crime. I believe that to be a true crime. Having sex with a 17-year-old is not a true crime. I'm sorry. I know you're going to hate me. I'm never going to be back on TV. Who would put me on TV? As Tony says, I was a loose cannon. Mr. Cuff says 12 million pounds is a hell of a lot when you can get it free for 80 pounds. He's not paying. He's paying 12 million pounds to keep somebody quiet. It's not easy to get someone to be quiet. It's not easy. And she's thinking to herself, oh my God, I'm going to get 70% of this because I'm going to give the lawyer 30%. It wasn't in the UK, says Janet. No, it was here. It was in the UK. They took a picture in Maxwell's home, that cute little home, the Muse home, wasn't it? Look up the song, Sweaty Nonce. It's a good laugh, and it's about Andrew. I mean, is he a nonce? I don't know if he is. Falling asleep, sweet dreams. Don't say goodbye. I don't want to know. We don't want to know. Do not say goodbye. Please don't say goodbye. Just, I'll see you later. People will miss you, and maybe they won't miss you. We don't need to say goodbye. Let me get back on track. I admire that dog in you, Lewis. Dog. But you must say it. You must say I'm more of a prude than a dog. I mean, I'm a prude too, but given certain circumstances, even women, they meet somebody they like, they're happily married, and they meet an internationally known comedy celebrity who was previously a pundit on headliners on GB News. And they just go, oh, what's the harm? Or let's say they meet somebody who's even more famous, like the Prince of England. And then they're given $15,000. And this was like 20 years ago. So let's say $30,000. Yep, Andy is better than Charlie, says Pete to Transport. I briefly met Andy at work. He helped us get contracts from the likes of the Saudi for aircraft. That's brilliant of him. Yeah, he's helping the country. Thank you, Kermit. 35 people watching this thing. That's good news. Lewis, Andrew says to his mom, I never met this girl, but she wants 12 million or there'll be trouble. Okay, sort of problem solved. Not solved. This is what Joe Sanders says. The truth is, it wasn't to have sex. It was to keep quiet. Okay? And this is what happens in today. It was in a Me Too environment. When a woman says something, they automatically believe the woman. Look at Johnny Depp. It took him 6 years to get out of that mess. And he's still not totally out of the mess. There are people who believe in what's his name? In Amber Heard. They believe in Amber Heard, that she was done a bad deed by that guy. And it never happened. I watched every minute of everything. It never happened. Do you hate me? Do you hate me? Do you forgive me? Can you forgive me? Please forgive me. Look at my nose. I got such a big. Do I have a big nose? Do I look well proportioned? Anyway. Andrews. Okay, there you go. Not so. Judel says, and Judel's always. I disagree with Judel a lot. She knows that I disagree with her, but she always seems reasonable. What do you think has happened to Andrew? What do you think he didn't deserve? He doesn't deserve to be kicked out of his house. He doesn't deserve to be made unbelievable pariah, because that's what you do in this country. You go, oh, well, we like this royal, but not that royal. This royal is better than this royal. Like you have some kind of choice of which royal you have. That's what King Charles is doing. He's trying to say, look over there. Look over there. That's a bad royal. I'm the good royal. And the fact is, he's cheating on his wife. Princess Diana is dead. She's dead. What laws did they abolish? Saxon. What laws? What laws? Gnome Hunter. Anyway, so let's get back on track. We're doing quite well here. Do you think we're doing well? Okay. All right. I don't know what happened here. This is my situation. This stream is really hard for me to take. Um, I am I paying the piper? Personally, yes. For 5 years sober, I'll pay that piper for the rest of my life. Yeah. You're talking about drinking or something and whatever. Um, the royals are sovereign anyway. The laws doth not apply. Yeah, he's paying to keep her quiet. What's 12 million pounds? How much is the queen worth? Where did she get her money? The royals are sovereign anyway. Okay. It happened on the island and in the Maxwell home and somewhere else. I can't remember off the top of my head. Well, I don't think the island is in America. Okay? I don't think the Maxwell home is in America. So it did not happen in America. And those laws are crazy in America. Does that make me? I had sex with a seven. No, I was 17 years old when I had sex for the first time. Okay? 17 years old. Let's hunt that woman down who awed me. Because what she did was illegal. Illegal. Or was it illegal? I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't illegal. But let's say it could have been illegal. I was happy about it. God bless her. God bless her. Where did Tony go? You should have made it a sleepover, like back when you were in high school, girls, Lewis. We went over to the pub, and I bought him. Maybe I shouldn't say what kind of drink. Maybe he doesn't want me to say what kind of drink. It was called a St. Clements. Have you ever heard of this? I never heard of it. Anyway, I'll be more concerned about the security service reporting that Andrew was up to his neck with China. Well, if that's the case, if you say to me that he was traitorous, I would definitely agree with you. Screw the guy. Take away everything. Okay? But I don't think he was. And nobody said anything like that. But more Melian, that's what you're saying. Oh, no, that's not what you're saying. That's John Miller. That cute little place is a 30-bedroom Windsor mansion. He also took dodgy money from various places and dodgy businesses. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's let that all be out in the open and let it go to court. Let it go do something. Anyway, the point is who gave him this 30-bedroom home? His mother did. His mother did. Why not? Why not take the home? Why does he have to give it back? I think I'm right about this. Now we've jumped ahead. We've jumped ahead. Okay, please forgive me. Top Chat 21. How are we doing with this? How many people do we have watching this thing? I've been on a rant the entire time. Is this the right thing to do? Let's get back on track. I'm missing the place. Yeah, Kermit. Kermit says it's a 30-bedroom place. Yeah, so what? So what? Who made the deal? Who gave him that? The Queen, I think, gave him the deal. Amber Heard was a hottie, though. I reckon he had some good times before it went bad. Yeah, probably he did, because she's was such a liar, telling him how great he was. And then she's running off, then he's like a drinker, and she lost the love for him. And he said, okay, well, you can leave. And she wanted more and more. There's a whole village in Scotland, Alan Williams says, where 16-year-olds used to go to get married. Gretna Green. Yeah, but now Now they're waiting. They want people to wait to get married so they have less children so that the white population dies out. That's what that's all about. I think that's what it's all about. There were girls who were as young as 15 on Sleaze Island. All of those rich and powerful men banging girls wasn't good association. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a good association. You know what I mean? It wasn't. But look at what Prince Charles was doing. He was banging his girlfriend, his married girlfriend. You know, come on, let's be honest. We also agree. We enjoy listening to you loads. Thank you, MC Scott. Probably not good to mention schoolgirls and sleepovers during this current topic. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get into trouble from this. We've already been demonetized. Andrew, that's Mr. Cuff said that. Gnome Hunter says, Andrew is the supreme example of a degenerate hedonist royal, likes of which have condemned centuries-old institutions for fun. It's pretty clear the semantics don't matter much beyond that. So he's a degenerate hedonist royal. Well, what would you do if you were a royal? The whole royal, you're to blame because you actually believe in this royal family stuff. If they didn't exist, he'd have to go out and get a job. If the welfare system in this country didn't exist, he'd have to go out and get a job. Yes, the picture was taken in London, but the supposed sex was in America. Supposed. Was it real? I don't know if it was. I wouldn't trust that woman either. I don't trust her. Joodles comes in and says he doesn't deserve to be kicked out of his house. He last paid rent in 2003, but he put in £7.5 million to fix the house up. So he paid that much money. Okay? Why does he get to stay? Because he signed a lease to stay. We believe in law in this country, do we not, Joodles? You've signed a contract. They're going to say you can stay. Oh, we don't like what you did with this girl. This girl said a bad thing. You got to go. No, I would, if I were him, I'd fight for it. Lewis. It's not his effing house, just a weird, dodgy contract. No, it's a real contract that his mother drew up, I think. I'm just guessing here. So why should he be kicked out? We all have contracts. And contract law is one thing that the British people basically invented. You guys should take pride in contract law. You can't just say, "Oh, he did a bad thing, so we got to put contracts out the window." They'll come looking at what you did, Joe, and what you did, Mr. Cuff, and what you did, Kerry Macker. Yes, Joodles, Kerry Macker says, if he was me or you, we would have been homeless a long time ago. No, we wouldn't have been because there's a contract that forces him to live in this home. Forces him. Not forces him. It's a right. Don't we believe in that? Aren't we English people? Aren't you English people? Don't you believe you can't take someone's home away because they were having a bit of tomfoolery? No. I hadn't realized what we were discussing, says Warmelian. Okay. The Saxon says at least they were rent girls and not rent boys. Yeah, let's say it was gay. Is he allowed to be gay? Yes, he's allowed to be gay. I think gay is legal in this country. Is he allowed to cheat on his wife? He wasn't even married at the time. Wasn't married. Marianne is here. Hello, beautiful Marianne. By comparison to alcohol, the stream is not synth. It's absence. There's no alcohol. Okay. Keith Bexley is here. Hello, beautiful Keith. How are you doing? They were rent girls, though. That's the thing. What does that mean? They weren't rent girls. What are they? Were nice girls who happened to end up on what's his name's island. Nice girls ending up with Jeffrey Epstein. Do you believe that? Is that what you're saying, Keith? Nice girls. Stop drinking, everybody. Stop drinking. Stop drinking. What's going on here? Oh my God, we've lost the thread. We've got so much stuff. Lewis, enjoyed hearing your guest talking about his work experience earlier today. Yeah, it was nice. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. It's part of the Crown Estate. He doesn't own it. The people do. He has a lease. Well, whoever owns it, he has a lease. Do you want to break his lease, Andrew Rubin? Let's break everybody's lease because they had sex with somebody that we didn't want them to have sex with. Okay. I'm going to be to the pub at 3 tomorrow. I plan to have only 2. I have no self-control. Yeah. Well, that's the problem with alcohol. Alcohol is very Moorish. It's very Moorish. It's basically the body. It's basically you eating fermented, rotten fruit. That's what alcohol is, and your body is thinking this guy is totally starving to death that he's eating fermented fruit. Yes, while we're at it, because we've been on this show for an hour, that's exactly the right time. Make sure you like this. Can everybody go and like this thread? Can you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already? Okay. If you haven't, can you maybe go to Ko-fi, even if you disagree with what I'm saying? You're sending me £5, sending the stream £5 will send an unequivocal mention to me that you do not approve of what I'm saying. If you go to Patreon and make a contribution there to the stream, or if you go to PayPal, you will be telling me you disagree with me 100%. That's what this is all about. Lewis, Andrew just needs to go. He's not royal in my eyes. Well, who cares about you, Kerry Macca? You're not deciding who is a royal. All he did was just break his poor mother's heart and make a mockery of what they, the royal family, stand for. The royal family stands for cheating on your beautiful young wife, who is the mother of the king. That's what the royal family stands for fighting for foreign countries and forgetting that they represent the English, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, whatever the people living in this country. Kerry Macca. Did I sound like I was screaming at you? I didn't mean to sound like that. Kerry Macca, I didn't mean to sound like that. But that's what the royal family, that's your royal family. You know, I'm an American. I don't like the royal family. On the do I have an opinion on the 3-1 Atlas Comet spaceship? You know what it is? I haven't looked it up. I should look it up. Take a minute and explain it to me in like 3 sentences. It was a grace and favor home, but just like Harry and his wife, they don't get it for free if they're no longer serving royal. Well, this is a scam then, because why shouldn't he be a serving royal? They're giving him a hard time, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think that they're allowed to just take it away from them. Show you're working out. Amber Heard is proper mental. Yes. No, she wasn't proper mental. What she did was quite normal. I've seen it. I've been involved in these situations. I used to go to Families Need Fathers group. And when you break up with a woman or even a man, they can get very upset. And that's what happened with her. He got bored with her. He didn't think she was going to do this. I mean, I've been in situations like this where I've broken up and next thing you know, me too. Okay, maybe Fergie needs to sell more helicopter books. Probably, that's right. You know what they say, show you're working. Crazy in the head, crazy in bed. Yeah, well, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like a bit of crazy. I like a bit of crazy. I'm going to skip ahead to the bottom. I'm sorry. I'm going to skip ahead. Look at this. I'm going to skip ahead. So if I haven't read you a post, I thought that the Americans liked the royals more than the British. We like them, but we don't want them. It's like the pyramids. We don't want the pyramids to be built in Central Park. We don't like the royals. It's interesting to see, but we do not like them. And if anybody acts royally, if anybody thinks that they've got a right to put their kid into power after them without working and proving that they deserve it, don't go there. Do not go there. Americans do not like the royals. I'm sorry. They don't like it. It's like they just had a demonstration. No kings. That's the Democrats are that way. No kings. And Donald Trump is saying, I'm not a king. It's a big interstellar object, and it's very strange and interesting. Velikovsky. I should discuss Velikovsky now. Let me find out. I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna write it down and never look at it again. What is it called? AI. What is it called? Interstellar? I don't know. Americans don't like the royal family, and that's what you. Oh my God, I'm so unlikable. I'm really having a bad. This is one of the worst shows I've ever done. The worst show, because I'm screaming at you, because I hate the royal family so much. And you're sitting there defending the royal. Every time you attack Andrew, you're making the king more powerful. Who is that guy? Joe Sanders Lewis. You may have ignored most of my posts because they may be because you were being rational about the horrible Andrew situation. You have ignored most of my posts because maybe they were being rational about the horrible. No, that's not true. That's not true. I read your posts, Joe Sanders. I read all the posts. All the posts. Do I not read all the posts? I read all the posts. Atlas, that's what it's called. AI Atlas. We'll find out about that. I'm going to tell you what the answer is, Velikovsky. Or that guy, Therosian Puppet, whatever the guy's name is. Dairy women are fierce women in a good way. Are you talking to show you're working out? Yeah, they are fierce. Northern Irish women. I haven't known that many, but I've known Lucy from here, and I've known Judels from here, and you from here. Yeah, you're very strong women. Really, really strong women. But just remember one thing. I'm not sitting next to you, so you can't hit me. How are we defending the royal family when we are effed off with Andrew and how he's been allowed to get away with everything? Because he is irrelevant. It's taking your time away from the king. And the fact is that there is a royal family, and all of their property should be taken away from them. Should be taken away and made public museums and public spaces and that kind of thing. And public parks. That's what should happen. Am I right? So every time you defend, you attack Andrew. You're basically defending King Charles. Am I right about that, Judels? Not my king, queen, or anything else, says Mr. McCuff. Yeah. Well, he is. Unfortunately, he is. He is. You know, I mean, I know I know you don't like him. I don't like him either, but he's our king. He's our king. You say he's our king, but I don't like him, and we should get rid of him. If he's irrelevant, Lewis, why have you been banging on and on about him for 4 shows? Because it bothers me when you people who basically agree with a lot of what I say, most of what I say, I think, except the carb thing, is that you people are like fighting for the defense of the royal family. Every time you support Andrew, you're fighting for the defense of King Charles. That you're calling him a king, that he's meeting with the Catholics, that he's dressed up like he's a Muslim, whatever he's doing, that he cares about the World Economic Forum more than he cares about the Houses of Parliament. I thought all this stuff that happened with Andrew was in America, but I'm wrong. So here, the legal age is 16, so I don't get what's wrong. I think that's what I said. Isn't that what I said, Janet? That's what I said. What's so bad about it? That is the biggest pile of shit I ever heard. Royal right is royal right, not what you want it to be. It can be taken away. It was taken away in 1860, in 1660, or 1640. 1640. I shouldn't be talking like this. It's not my king. It's your king. It's your king. Well, the king won't be there much longer. He's a very ill man. Yeah, look at the way he's got type 2 diabetes. But who's the next guy? William? He'll do a better job at working for the World Economic Forum. You're equating apples and pears yet again, Jules. Are you talking to me? You know, King William next. Yeah, he's bald. Yeah, whatever. You got to feel sorry for bald men. Right? And women, too. It's bad. Lewis, slagging off Andrew doesn't mean we are less royalist or whatever we want to be. It's totally separate. You think it is, but I'm saying how it isn't. I'm saying they are using Andrew as a way to make King Charles stronger. That's what I'm telling you, whether you agree with that or not. Do you disagree with that? A king shouldn't be bald, really. Well, how bald is he? I mean, does he shave his... Yeah, he shouldn't be. But you know what is a big cause of baldness? High-carb diet. I'd rather have the Beckhams at Buckingham Palace at this point Okay, but I can't stand them either. This is what Kermit says. Why do we even need a royal family? The reason we need a royal family is because the parliamentary system is not fit for purpose. It's a very bad system. We got to wait 4 years before we get rid of this guy. No, we are not. Your logic is odd. This is what Fontenay says. Exposing Andrew makes them all look bad. That's why they are trying to distance themselves from him. So why attack him? Keep him there. Keep him there, and it'll expose King Charles and all of them. But no, you want to get rid of him. You want him to lose his house and to go away somewhere. No. He needs a royal wig, yeah. Windsor Davies was the only Windsor I liked. I liked Windsor shoes. I liked Windsor. I didn't ever had a Windsor tie, but I liked Windsor ties. High testosterone apparently is baldness. Yes, but it's also Google high carbs, Kermit. I don't want King William or Charlie time. I don't want King William or Charlie time. Pete's transport, put a punctuation in there. It's unreadable the way it is. William looks the part, but he will be a wokey monarch. Yes. What does wokey mean? He's not fighting for England, for your oil, so that this country can be rich and successful. He's fighting because everyone is the same. So let's let people in who want to come in here. Let them walk all over you. You know why? So that they can maybe pick strawberries. Maybe, I don't know. With all due respect, Noam Hunter says, but any American cannot comprehend how European autocracy works. Some things are just the way they are. They are not going anywhere unless they are all like Andrew. I'm not asking for them to go. I'm asking for them to go places, but I'm asking for you to have a little backbone, Noam Hunter, and say, I don't like them. How about that? Just that's all. Start there. I don't like them. I think they're bad for this country. The Queen wasn't the bad representative for the UK. I'm not impressed with the rest of them, except maybe Kate. The Queen gave away an entire empire. It was the British Empire. And then when she took over in the 1950 or whatever year it was huge. And slowly and surely, lost everything. And they say, oh, she's done a great job. I don't know. Has she done a great job? You talking reason for baldness, Kermit. Yeah. Common people are idiots. We need authority. Read Behemoth. We need authority. Do you actually believe that? Yeah. Well, that's communism. That's elitism. That's the royal family. They think they're better than everybody. That's globalists. That's what they are. They are globalists. Your king is a globalist. I shouldn't be talking like this. I apologize. Mr. McCuff says, I never liked the royals, but she had to stay for as long as she should, as she was aware of the shit show that was going to follow. Yes, she didn't want him to be. She didn't want him to be king. She didn't want Charles to be king. If she thought that he was a good king, she would have said, "You take over." But she didn't do that. So he gave her the COVID vaccine. Not for my own benefit, Kermit says. I have a head full of dark, lustrous hair. Yes, you do. And Lewis Schaffer would love to put his fingers through it. Wigs should be available on the NHS, says the Saxon. I almost agree. It's really traumatic to lose your hair. Do us women still have a platform here? Just checking. Of course you do. What happened? What did I not read? Did I not read something that you said, Joe? Don't be so paranoid and think I'm not reading what you have to say because you're a woman. America forced the dissolution of the British Empire. Well, why did you force it? Because you were giving stuff away to people who didn't deserve it, and you should have spent it on military. Okay, TOW, sorry, John Williams said, 2 world wars put paid to the empire we couldn't afford after losing so much. Yeah, but the Queen didn't seem to be fighting for it. 2 world war, John Miller. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, I read a book about the British economy in the 1850s, and you were already fallen behind by that time. You'd fallen behind by 1950. You'd fallen behind. I'm not sure the Queen had a lot of say in the loss of the empire. She didn't have a magic wand. No, but she could have screamed, like we need someone to scream right now about the mass importation of people into this country. I'm not. This is the worst show I've ever done. I'm not sure. Okay, that's what show you're working. Good point. Anyway, I'm sure Lewis would allow you to have a platform, Joe. But you'd have to have a pole to dance around. Yeah, possibly. Lewis, she did a Queen Victoria. What did she do? What did Joe Sanders say that Queen Elizabeth II did? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Judith said, you must have said I shouldn't be talking like this 10 times tonight. So why are you continuing? You know you're pissing loads of us off. It's just for the crack? Yes, it's for the crack. I rather have no audience than feel, oh, he didn't say what he wanted to say. And I think you would want me to be here if you thought, oh, he's just saying this to make us happy. Joodles. Yes, it's not just for the crack, but it would make me really unhappy to not say what's on my mind about the royal family. Okay, Lewis. Joe says, never paranoid, just jumping in. Okay, thank you, Joe, for jumping in. You need to start walking on your hands, Lewis, as you're always talking out of your ass. Okay, I agree with that. And you know what? When push comes to shove, you could say, you know what, we didn't agree with him. You should have seen the feedback that he got. You've given me a lot of feedback. You've said that I'm full of shit and you don't agree with me on multiple points. We've got an American in the UK trying to stir up a coup against the king. I'm not trying to stir up a coup. Lewis is going to the Tower just like Guy Fawkes. By the way, I want to be part of his coup. Okay, that's very funny, Warmellian. I'm saying you could express unhappiness. The problem is British people have not expressed the unhappiness that they need to express. You know? Look what happened in America. We had 4 years of mass immigration. And now Donald Trump and the millions of Americans are fighting back. Okay, say what you think, Lewis. But saying it over and over again just alienates people. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell how many people are watching this stream because I'm on Streamlabs. We got 34 people watching the stream. Let me see if there's any more than that. So that basically the number has been the same. The number has been the same. Let me just check. I'm just checking. You know, so some shows you don't like. We got 27 people liking the show, 35 people watching the show. Let's do this. Let's go to analytics and see how many people are watching the show. Or whatever you call it, a show. We call it Lewis Schaffer's tirade. You know, I'm not telling you what you need to do about your royal family. You believe in this stuff. You love the royal family. You know, you go ahead. You believe the royal stuff. The show has been a balanced show. We've had, at 11 p.m., we had 33 people. At 11:10, we had 41. And now we have 35. It's basically, if you go to analytics, you can see that we've had people watching the show on an even keel. Yeah, Lewis, don't say, I shouldn't be saying this. You can say whatever you want. This isn't GB News. Thank you, Alex. I shouldn't say it. It's like when I yell at people because they say I'm leaving, I'll see you tomorrow, and I get really upset. I don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear I shouldn't be saying it. I want you to know that I just want you to know that I'm upset because I'm an American. I agree with you, Lewis. It's not underage sex Andrew is accused of. I thought it was his trafficking and other stuff. What is the other stuff? Got to check it out so I can get my facts right. Yeah, Janet. What is the other stuff? What does trafficking mean? Americans pretend to hate our royals, but really they are jealous because we have something that they don't. Yeah, you've got bad teeth too. We're jealous of you. That's rubbish. That is, you know what? Americans, the losers, Americans don't spend any time thinking about Britain, nothing personal. And they don't spend any time thinking about the royals, except when they go, like they had a huge demonstration because they didn't want Donald Trump being a king. So they don't want a king. They do not want a king. And this has been going on for 250 years. God bless America. Okay, so there you go. Stop saying we love the royals. I must be obvious that most of us don't. You do. I've seen the polls. And if you don't love the royals, have you joined Republic? That's a political organization. Have you protested? No, you haven't. You haven't protested. So you haven't protested. Nothing personal. Nothing personal. Okay. I think, has anybody want to make a final comment about my tirade? I apologize. I don't apologize. I had to say it. It's very important to me. And every single day it's getting on my nerves. That king is getting on my nerves. Andrew is getting on my nerves. If he were king, he'd be getting on my nerves. But he's like, you feel sorry for the guy, basically. When the aliens come down and ask to be taken to our leader, we will need to take them to Keir Starmer. Yeah, that's the parliamentary system. You asked for it. Just say comedy and satire after every controversial point. This is what Kermit says. You could probably do with a button. Yes. Let's make a button. I think you can put a button on this thing. Dashboard home. But widgets, could it be a widget? Let me press the widget thing here. Maybe I could do that. That's not a bad idea. Any sort of republicanism is a cesspool of leftist shite. Republicanism is different here than what it is in the States. Yeah, maybe it is. So don't call it republicanism. Call it something else. I think that just being friends with Epstein seems like to make him guilty, Janet says. Yeah. But guilty enough for him to be tortured the way he's tortured now? I'm not so sure. An hour and a half of Prince Andrew and the effing weasel who deserves airtime and should just and stay there. Okay, I don't know I didn't read that coherently, but there's an American TikTok going around stores making employees to page for his brother and telling them his name is gay porn. And the silly Americans, gay porn. Oh, gay porn. Yeah, that's Alex. Nothing personal, but that's a typical British, not funny joke. Sorry, it's like the stupidest of all jokes. Very British. British people love that they've made somebody. This has happened to me how many times? Wayne King. I'm going, what the hell why is Wayne King? What does Wayne King mean? It just isn't that way. Anyway, so I think this has been one of the best shows that we've ever had. I think. I've kept my energy. It's kept my interest. Has it kept your interest? I think it's kept your interest. What you could do is you could like the stream. You could like the stream, right? You could like this stream. Where are we here? Let's go back to here. Let's go to. That's not what we're looking for. I don't know what happened there. But like the stream, press the button. Look at the fat. I put the picture of myself up there. Fat. I put the picture of myself up there. Fat. So press the like button, okay? And press the whatchamacallit button that says subscribe. And throw a few shekels, even if you hate me. It means a lot to me. You want to have a royal family? Have a royal family. You want to have royals? Have royals. But don't say that most people are against it. Because if you don't say anything, then you've accepted it. We now have 1,850,000 followers. Oh my God. Subscribers. That's unbelievable. 1,850,000. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to give you all a big round of applause. A big round of applause. 1,850,000 followers. That's like brilliant. That's like absolutely brilliant. America conquered the whole world using nothing but inflation. A case could be made for that. Thank you, Kermit, for pointing out that you should go to Twitter. Thank you, Mr. McCuff, for pointing out that I am 17% gay. Okay? But I don't care. I don't care how gay I am. I'm 100% gay. I don't care. Kermit comes in and says, make a donation to PayPal. Very easy to do. Or go into Patreon and make a donation to Patreon, a monthly donation. So you can say, Lewis, whatever. PayPal, Patreon, Ko-fi. I don't know. I think it's all worth it. Stuart Hanley is here. Top manner, Lewis. I've hit the like button. Great show. I appreciate that for you being here. Thank you for the Saxon for being here, for Mr. McCuff, for Keith Bexley for being here, for Scott for coming in, MC Scott, for Joe. I never ignore Joe. Never, ever. I don't never ignore Joodles. So don't ever think that I don't ignore anyone. Okay? I don't ignore anyone. So thank you. Thank you to Alan Williams, to Gnome Hunter. These are people for show, whatever it is, show you're working out. Yes, that's maybe your muscles. Vatanai. You people are here regularly, warm million, and I love you for it. And I'll tell you why you're better than every other stream. Every other stream, the guy is telling you stuff that you want to hear. Okay? Is not arguing with you, but I'm arguing with you. And you're putting up with it. So I do appreciate that so much. I give you a kiss, each and every one of you. Gnome Hunter, Joe Sanders, I'm giving Joe a kiss. Okay? I'm giving Pete Transport for coming into the late show. I appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that we've had 35 people watching for the entire show. It hasn't gone up. Oh, that's Lewis, and gone down. It's people listening. Darklands is here. I appreciate you being here. Totally good. Maybe this is the wrong part of the show for me. Alex, very helpful. Andrew Rubin, totally helpful. Janet Raymond, thank you for coming in. Kerry Macca, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kerry Macca. Okay. She says she's vented enough. You can vent on Lewis Schaffer. You can say to me, Lewis, I think you're wrong. As a matter of fact, I think you're an idiot. I think you could say that to me and make a case of why you think that. I think you're an idiot because this country needs a royal family because our political system is so messed up. Well, whatever you want to say, maybe you're not going to say that, but you're free to say that. I want to thank Kermit, because he's been unbelievably helpful to me. I don't even use, and I say use in the nicest possible way, enough. Okay. I think you are right about that. It is comedy. I'm not suggesting anything bad. Anything bad. I'm just saying, if you're unhappy, express your unhappiness. The one thing about the royal family is here, they like when people express their unhappiness because then they go, look at how powerful we are. We let people say how unhappy they are. And we're not going anywhere. That's how you know you've got power and they've got power. I think that's what I'm saying. This reminds me of a radio show I used to tune into called Alan Beswick Radio Show. Similar style. I don't know about that. Maybe I'll write that down. I'll check that out after I check out AI Atlas. Alan Beswick. It is what I do. It is what I do. Okay. No, I'm talking about this thing. It means a lot to me, Gnome Hunter. Okay, so I'm gonna end the show. If any of you want to be included in my goodbye thing to show that I've read what you've said and that I know you here, I know you exist. The people who write here, I know you exist. Okay, I know it, and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna go onto end stream. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then go down and press actually the end stream. The end stream is just there. Can you see that? It's just the thing that says the end stream is coming. But you can still type. And then I'm going to go down in the bottom to actually end the stream. So there won't be a stream. It'll be gone. And we'll see you tomorrow or on Discord. Let's go on Discord. I didn't even mention Discord. I haven't mentioned Discord. Okay, we'll see you soon. Best show ever. Best chatters ever. You people are the best.